Do we do anything with 31
We just
Reno?
noted last time that we won on it.
Yeah, okay,
We're on. We're on.
great.
All right, good. Where's my script? Here we go. Good evening and welcome to the August 28th, 2025 regular meeting of the Zoning Commission held at 7 p.m. in room 133 of the Brookfield Town Hall and streamed live on Zoom. Please rise to recite the Pledge of Allegiance, if you would. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, liberty and justice for all.
Whoa.
Thank you. It was the second time. You got it right the first time, just so you know. First, I'll have the members of the Zoning Commission present here this evening introduce themselves, starting from my left.
Gwen Arnett, member.
Kurt Timmerman, Chair.
Matt Grimes, Secretary.
Greg Petroni, alternate.
Also present this evening is our CEO, Fran Lawley, our Land Use Director, Laura Barkowski, and our Recording Secretary, Elizabeth Adams. Tonight, since we have two regular members absent, Greg Petroni will be the voting member. There's copies up here on the table if anybody wants it, and we also have them on the website. So the second item on the agenda is review correspondence. We have none. So next, review minutes of the previous meeting.
Going to make a
August
motion
14th.
to postpone because we don't have a quorum that was here last time.
Oh, all right.
So motion to postpone till September 11th.
All right. Well, all right, sure. I want to second that motion.
I'll second
Okay,
it. I
Gwen?
wasn't here.
Yeah. All in favor of postponing the minutes approval, August 14th? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right.
And I'll make a motion to move 7B up till now, that's 993 Federal Road.
Okay. Do I have a second on that?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Gwen. Discussion, we're moving ahead because he already was here for the aquifer protection, so we'll get him done and out of here.
He wants to sit around all night.
Yeah.
Listen
So
to
all in
this.
favor of moving 7B up to right now?
Hey.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
All right. All right, it's unanimous. All right, sir, for your name and your address for the record again?
So my name is Robert Walker. I'm a civil engineer with Fuss & O'Neill. Our office is located at 59 Elm Street, New Haven, Connecticut, Suite 500.
Okay, thank you. And what brings you here today?
So I'm here representing Motorex. We are proposing 2 new oil water separators and some associated sewer laterals for their existing facility located at 993 Federal Road. These oil water separators are intended to provide additional spill protections for the existing facility, specifically for events where fire sprinklers, which are being installed in tandem with this, are discharged, possibly floating oil out of the facility. So there will be floor drains installed inside the facility, which then direct water through these 2 oil water separators before discharging to the sewer line during emergency events. These are only intended as part of emergency procedures in that situation to occur. There's not expected to be any base flow or typical use of these tanks outside of emergency situations. There's no increase to the use of the existing facility proposed in tandem with this. It's really about modernizing the existing spill protection.
Okay. And so this is to do 2 things. One, to protect the aquifer
Yep.
on which this is, or 3 things. The other, to keep it out of the Still River, and then finally to keep it out of our sewer system.
Yeah, exactly. So this is intended to keep any oil that would accidentally be spilled located on site where it can be safely captured, disposed of, keep it from going anywhere else. It's a huge headache for you guys. It's a huge headache for the facility there. It's in everyone's best interest if we can stop it where it is.
And I'll just repeat a question that I asked
Yeah.
during the agency meeting for the record. You're not increasing the level of activity on the site?
No, in this application, there's no increase on the level of activity on the site. This is specifically for more spill protection.
Okay. And it was, the impetus was well, it had changed hands a couple of years ago, and the impetus was one spill.
Yeah,
That was the only recorded spill at this facility a couple of years ago.
So yeah, there was a new owner came on board and a recorded spill did happen. As part of that, the new owner identified the need to modernize these practices, and that's kind of how we ended up here.
Okay.
And a question that I asked was about the two tanks being put right in the middle of a flood zone.
Yeah, so these two tanks have been designed for your regulations and for WPCA to be watertight. The manholes are sealed ones with a locking mechanism to prevent floodwater intrusion. The tank will be welded at the joints where the manhole comes down and has a casketed cover as well. So and will be pressure tested at time of install. So there should be no floodwater intrusion that is able to make it into the system.
And I see in the file that you have inland wetlands protection approvals.
Yes, we've received inland wetland protection approval and we received WPCA approval last night.
Okay.
And I think since we approved it as the agency, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't approve this
Yeah,
application.
and, you know, I mean, thank you for or the owner for recognizing he should upgrade this and add an extra safety system for this oil, any potential oil spill.
I have one other question. I don't know if this is pertinent, but what kind of training do the employees have?
That I don't have off the top of my head. I know they do have standard spill protection practices in place. What exactly those are, I would have to reach back out to my mechanical team who's involved in the on-site facilities. Again, this application is for the exterior tanks, but I do know they have, spill protection kits located throughout the site, and employees have been trained to use them. I just don't know the exact, method of that training.
Should be too. There's a OSHA standard for it, so it should be at least to that standard.
Yeah. And you have, I went through your countermeasure plan here, so it's pretty comprehensive, and there are references back to state reg and federal reg. So.
Yeah, and that plan also is going to continue to be updated as we're doing these building improvements to add the additional spill protection to include those measures as they come online.
Okay.
It's kind of a living document that they keep on site, so they have for constant reference.
All right.
Make a motion to approve application C-25-47, 993 Federal Road, floodplain application, proposed installation of two water separators and associated sanitary sewer laterals.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Matt. Any discussion on the motion? No, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that is unanimous. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Let's see, these don't belong to me.
Anybody else should be moved up, or
No, I think everybody's kind of,
you
everything else is fine here.
got public hearing scripts?
Yep.
or-
All right, the next was I got my. The next is 5A, 19A Elbow Hill Road. Don't come up yet. I have to read my script. This is a regular meeting of the Brookfield Zoning Commission. At this point in our agenda, we have a scheduled public hearing concerning the application of Robert Sherwood for Peter Sullivan and Cesar Suarez, 4 Mountainville Road, Danbury. Application Z-25-26, special permit design review application to create a wholesale nursery on vacant property. First, I'll have the members again introduce themselves, starting from my left. With Gwen.
Oh,
Introduce
I'm
yourself.
sorry. I'm someplace else. Gwen Arnett, member.
Kurt Timmerman, Chair.
Matt Grimes, secretary.
Greg Petroni, alternate.
Note that Greg Petronelli is voting member tonight. We will open this public hearing by calling on the commission secretary to read the legal notice of this
Do we have it
hearing.
this time?
Yes, we do, right here.
Okay, this is a legal notice that was run in the News Times on August 15th and 25th. Brookfield Zoning Commission will hold public hearings at Town Hall, 100 Pocono Road, room 133, at 7 p.m. on August 28th, 2025, for applications by 1, 19A Elbow Hill Road, application Z-25-26, Robert Sherwood for Peter Sullivan and Casey Suarez, 4 Mountainville Road, Danbury, special permit design review, application to create a wholesale nursery on vacant property. 2, 1014 Federal Road, application Z-2545, Nilisha Mehta of Brahma Kumari's World, 8 Powderhorn Hill, Brookfield for Town Square Media, 1 Manhattanville Road, Purchase, New York, a special permit with design review application for change of use from radio station to a meditation center. At this hearing, interested persons may appear and be heard, and written communications will be received. Files are available for public inspection at Town Hall. Kurt Timmerman, Chairman, Brookfield Zoning Commission.
All right, thank you, Matt. This application was formally received by the Commission on July 10th, 2025. The public hearing is only one aspect of the approval process and is for the purposes of accepting factual information and data bearing on this application and to allow expression of opinion by interested parties. Subsequent to this hearing, the Commission has 65 days in which to render a decision on this proposal. Final decision may be in a form as approved as submitted, approved with stipulations, or denied. After reading into the record the correspondence received by the Commission relative to this application, we will ask the applicant to present the application in detail. Presentation will be limited to 45 minutes. The Chair will then entertain questions of clarification concerning the applicant's presentation. We will hear from those who wish to speak in favor of the application, followed by those who are opposed. Comments must be limited to 5 minutes. Members of the public will have one opportunity to speak during this segment of the hearing and may also submit their concerns in writing during the public hearing. During this segment, the commissioners may ask additional questions. The bylaws of the Commission allow for only the presentation of similar positions in succession and preclude the intermixture of comments pro or con. All questions and comments must be directed through the Chair. As you are recognized, please state your name and address so your comments may be legally recorded. Please be assured that everyone will be given an opportunity to speak. However, the Commission is most interested in hearing factual information relative to the application, and in view of the time constraints placed upon us, we ask your indulgence in not reiterating comments previously presented. After the public comments are received, the applicant will have an opportunity to comment, and the time will be limited to 10 minutes. Are there any questions on the rules? All right. We'll see if we have any correspondence. I don't think so. No. So I'm prepared now to hear the application. So for the applicant for this address?
19A.
Yeah, 19A Elbow Hill Road.
This is for Elbow Hill Road. Neil Marcus, Cohen Wolf PC, on behalf of Cesar Suarez, who is here. Peter Sullivan is not, but Rob Sherwood is. You have a seat. This is, as you've read in the public notice, it's a hearing to allow the wholesale nursery on the site. And the site has an interesting history before this commission, and I'm not sure anybody was on the commission when I was first here. When Mr. Suarez purchased the property a number of years ago with Peter Sullivan for the nursery, it was in fact a construction yard with heavy equipment parked on it in connection with the Oak Meadow condominium construction. And he assumed when he bought the property that it was zoned for industrial commercial uses, because that's what it was being used for. But unbeknownst to Cesar at the time, the only reason construction equipment was on the site, it was just construction equipment for the condo. Once it was finished, the construction equipment moved off the site, and in fact, the property was still residentially zoned. And Fran Lally, well, thank you for bringing me here on this matter. Fran cited Cesar with a cease and desist, and actually suggested that Cesar come and see me at that time, and he did. And we came back to the commission and did a presentation and had the zone changed to allow the wholesale nursery. Without any controversy, it was actually a fairly easy application to get through the commission at the time. What we didn't do, and I'm not sure I'll take full responsibility, I didn't think about it at the time, nobody did. We didn't do step two, which was say, well, now that we're here and we're in the right zone, approve our site plan. So basically, that's what we're doing tonight. It's been a lag of a few years, but essentially, the site has been used continuously as a wholesale nursery since it was acquired after the completion of the Oak Meadow condos. So that's the zoning history. The application is relatively simple because the site's small, very self-contained, and the use really is to allow greenery. I mean, basically, if you go in there, you're in the middle of Sherwood Forest, no pun intended. But I'm going to call on Rob Sherwood to make a presentation. Thank you.
Robert Sherwood, landscape architect. So was contracted by Cesar to kind of help him out and get this approval as well with Neil. You know, the site is a narrow site at the street, deep in the lot. there's really no infrastructure besides a hard packed gravel and dirt road, driveway that we would call it, coming in from Elbow Hill, coming all the way into the back, and kind of a turnaround and storage facility. Left and right on both sides of this access way, it's all just landscape nursery. This is containerized material or potted plants that he brings in, uses for his own landscape business and or sells them. Kind of shown in this area, these two hatching. There is a large slope on the side of the property here, that's obviously unused, so. There's one small shed that he uses kind of as a storage facility for hand tools and hoses and stuff of that nature, and perhaps his worker that works there and watering the material most of the time may eat lunch in there or something of that nature that I saw. But again, it's a 10 by 12 shed if I guessed properly. Besides that, there's no elaborate real plan that I'm here to show you, but just kind of the basics of what's going on.
Sure, okay. I was here for the zone change, and I must admit, after that, when driving by, I'm like, oh yeah, they were there before then, so they had their zone change. What brought it back up was complaints of blocking the road, and then also dirt getting out into the road. So those were two areas, hopefully to address without carrying all, getting the street messy. And also, being mindful of not having cars or trucks parked here, because Elbow Hill Road's not that wide.
Right.
So,
Gee, I've never seen that.
no, well,
And
I
I go
haven't
down
either,
there all the
nor
time.
have I, but there have been some complaints, so.
When it's busy type thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's also
So-
where Echo Bay goes by.
Yes,
with their
it's
boats.
across the street.
And I'm certain that with a little bit better maintenance practices on the owner's part, that we can try to keep some of that dirt out of the road, or if we did a little bit more of infrastructure in that area, perhaps more gravel or more, almost like an
Yeah.
anti-tracking pad, we can try to resolve some of that.
Sure.
Parking wise, we'll try to encourage and or, try to get more spot in the property.
Yeah, I think it's more of being mindful of it, not necessarily need parking, but that, someone should not block the way if they see that there's
100%.
no way to come in.
100%.
Now, Gwen, you had a question?
I do. What is your water source?
Good question. Caesar? Caesar's the owner.
Cesar Torres, I'm the owner, 19A Apple Hill. So we got a well. We got a well in the property that we dug out. We supply, we get water for all the plant material. That's what we use.
Is there a septic there?
No, no septic. No septic. We got potty John potty
I see.
that we use it for people and our workers, but we don't have.
A porta potty.
Yeah.
Yeah, portable, yeah.
Okay, any other questions from the commissioners? Any questions of clarification from the audience? Sir? Yes.
Been almost first of all, there was never equipment there from,
Oh, yeah, name and address, please.
Tony Petrolisi, 23 Elbow Hill Road.
Yeah, this is just for questions of clarification, not for or against.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. We'll get to that.
Anybody else with questions of clarification? Yes, sir?
My name is Rudy Assisting. I'm from 13 Oak Meadows. Right behind the condominium area is the proposed zoning plan. Is there any other building? How many floors are they going to build?
They're not going to build any. There's no buildings. This is just nursery stock.
Okay,
That's it.
thank you.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Any other questions of clarification? All right.
Can I ask?
Sure.
Do you keep dumpsters on the site for waste? I mean, like when you do horticulture plants or anything like that? Or is there any?
For the green waste, or?
Yeah.
No, we don't have any containers. Whatever is plant material dies or whatever,
Okay.
we remove them and we bring to the organic place.
Okay.
We don't keep any.
I was just thinking, you were talking about the traffic, or the complaints we've gotten, if somebody's coming in to get a
Oh,
dumpster, whether
yeah.
it's got green material or
Yeah,
not,
sure.
that can.
All right. Any other questions, Claire?
Greg
And
does.
there's no clearing going on or anything like that to expand the area that you have
No,
already
we-
using?
No, we extend a little bit as far the limits of the property, just because we got material coming, and that's about it. We don't,
So you're clearing more than current or no?
No clearance proposed.
Okay,
the site was,
mostly.
yeah,
Yeah.
most well clear, because the previous owner, he keeps the equipment down below, and he cleaned all the way up. That's the only part.
Yes, what does the wood fence abut? Does it abut the condominium?
Yes.
Ah,
Oak Meadows.
Condos right there.
Yeah.
and what are these circles?
The trees
That's
there?
the trees.
Those are
There were
trees.
some evergreens that were planted
Okay.
there at one point for screening.
Okay. So they're behind the fence?
Inside.
Yeah,
Inside
his
the
property,
fence.
behind the fence, yeah.
To block the view of the people at the condos, I think.
Any other questions or clarification? Seeing none, would anybody like to speak in favor of this application? Okay, and anybody like to speak in opposition? Sir?
Tony Pachalisi, 23 Elbow Hill Road. When they first got the property, there was no equipment on the property. I've been there 2 years. I haven't gotten any notice that they commercialized the property. I'm adjacent to the property. He is digging into the land. He's dropped property lines, trees from my property down into his. So when he's saying he's expanding, he is expanding into the hill. Trucks pull in at night. I can hear the engines running, and all night they're in the truck sleeping, waiting for the next morning. Issue because I can't sleep. I wake up. I hear the loader backup horn when he's backing up the loaders. The trucks parking in the road is really dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
When you're coming up the hill, if you're coming down towards Federal Road, in the morning when the sun comes up, you can't see anything. If you see a truck and you pull into the other lane and someone's coming up that hill, there's gonna be an accident there, someone's gonna get hurt. Increase in traffic on Elbow Hill because of it is an eyesore for the community as far as I'm concerned. It's nothing but a mud hole. You look over there, it's just all mud down inside there. Cause a decline in home value, I'm thinking, because my property is right adjacent to this property. I don't think it's gonna help it. Constantly have customers pulling into my driveway asking me, or pulling in and pulling out, not knowing where they're going. They took down all the property stakes. There was property stakes on the property line, up on the hill, mine and his. Took them all down. He had a fence there. I have pictures. He had the flags, the orange flags. It was all surveyed. Took them all down, started digging into the hill. You can go there right now, you'll see trees falling over. And it won't stop going because it's all sand. So to me, it's a problem.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have we checked with wetlands?
There's no wetlands there.
There's no,
They would have to go in front of wetlands if there was.
I see.
All right, anybody else would like to speak in opposition? All right, seeing none, would you like to rebut, attorney, or either?
Again, for the record, Neil Marcus. I'm not sure, the prior speaker said he's only been there for a couple of years? I didn't quite hear, 2 years? Oh, you've been there for more than 2 years?
Sir,
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I just wanted to understand his statement. Again, I don't want to debate the issue of the prior use. Manny Menino was a client of mine, built Oak Ridge, and that's where he used to park his trucks. I know that. I've been there, but that's irrelevant. The fact of the matter is that the issue that the speaker in opposition raises is the issue that you've also raised, and that's making sure there's some parking areas to get cars off the road, and we're going to do that. I think we're going to revise the plan a little bit to show real parking. As to the muddy conditions on the site, I mean, it's a nursery. It can be muddy. We can attempt to show, and I'm going to ask Rob to do that, areas where he can improve maybe some of the stone, crushed stone, that would make the site a little bit less muddy. I've been on the site a couple of times, and I'll admit, one time I parked on Elbow Hill Road, and one time I actually pulled in and parked on the driveway. The first time I parked on Elbow Hill Road was because I thought I'd actually just driven by it, and I had, so I pulled over. But clearly, we can address the parking on Elbow Hill, because I agree that that's a legitimate concern. In terms of customers pulling into the driveway, there's not a great deal of signage. And I'm going to ask Caesar, can we put up some signage there? Would that be a problem?
Yeah, it's not a problem putting a signs. The reason is because we got so much material that people ask for it, and we bring it in, and every time we bring it, it's getting packed, and we're running out of parking. But we was thinking to do a real parking for people. It's not as bad like he's saying, but when we have our trucks in the morning put in, it's only like about maximum 3 hours, 2 hours that we get loaded and we leave.
You load up and you leave.
Yeah, and we leave. The rest of the day is kind of quiet. And yes, he's right. We're moving equipment back and forth. Why? Because we organize our stuff, and that's normal for a nursery. That's one of my things.
just so you know, there are time limits, you know,
When you
like
can start.
7 a.m. to 7 p.m. that you can't
And
make.
that's where we start. Sometimes we start to like 8, 9 in the morning.
So those, and I think, you know, if the commission is with me on this, you know, maybe some timing stipulations.
Absolutely.
Parking stipulations,
Okay.
signage,
And then
and maybe to have you come back with a plan to address some of these concerns, because I understand that.
I know they're here for a site plan modification tonight. What does?
No, this is not a modification, this is a use, yeah.
So
They don't have a site plan
So
yet.
they don't have.
This is it,
Okay, they don't have it.
Can I?
yeah.
This is the first time.
Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
There was a fence there before. Can a fence be put up again?
it wasn't any.
No, there
There
was
was
there
no
was the
fence.
property line markers now.
Stakes.
Stakes, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe it needs to be surveyed and put stakes in.
Well, we have a survey, the
Or
survey's
Yeah,
there. The question,
we got
maybe
but-
a fence like you have on the side with butting the condominium, if there's another
Oh,
lot next to you.
The fence was there. The previous owner of the Oak Meadows, he put it on,
yeah,
so it's still there.
The one to the neighbor who's to your west, the one that's complaining.
was there ever a fence along here, on the west side?
We never fenced it. It was never fenced. We put the fence for protection of, kind of use like deer fence.
Mhm.
A
But
deer
It was
fence.
never fenced there. It was never fenced.
Maybe in deference to your neighbor to the west, it might be a good idea to do some sort of blocking fencing.
Or some demarcation of the property line so that we make sure that no materials fall over on the other property. I can agree with that.
Well, or even,
Great idea.
so you both agree to an established lot line. Matt?
Yeah, I have, my concerns are not as much about the site itself, but they're entirely safety related, especially with the traffic on Elbow Hill Road. I travel Elbow Hill Road multiple times a day usually. And I can tell you, it's not just bad with the sun coming in, but you get boats coming out of Echo Bay. You get a school bus on Elbow Hill, you get Amazon trucks. And I've seen it all at the same time, and it's an absolute, how someone has not gotten hurt there. Elbow Hill is a very narrow road as it is, but that particular part of it though, how someone has not gotten hurt yet, I really don't know. And when EMS has to come through, that's tributary that EMS uses. The ambulance goes up and down Elbow Hill Road constantly because it's got a big senior community on the west side of town. And I'm not finished yet, please, but my concerns are more entirely related to the safety of the traffic of the entrance to the property. I think it's a prudent use of the site itself. It hadn't been used, I mean, people were riding ATVs back there for years and everything like that. But my concerns are entirely safety, and I'd like to see them come back with a plan to address the safety of entering and exiting the property, especially with the trucks, times of day, and in consideration of the whole totality of the circumstances, I guess you could say. A little legal term there for
Everything
you,
that's
Neil.
been discussed.
I got it, but, and it's interesting that his traffic, most of the day, there is no traffic, as he said, they load up in the morning, they leave, they come back in the evening, and they're done. That's
Right,
it's
but
over.
it must be when, they must strike the right time, because.
We'll take a look at
The
it.
ambulance come through, the school bus come through,
We'll take a look.
Amazon comes through, and
And no
everything.
idling of trucks or anything, you know.
That's correct.
Are people sleeping in the trucks?
We got deliveries come from other states, so tractor trailers, they come and deliver our material, and they come in the middle of the night. And they ask, oh, can I sleep?
That's
with
not
you?"
cool.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah,
I
you'll have to,
understand. They, most of the,
But you're the property owner, you're responsible for that.
yeah, I know,
That's where you say no.
yeah, so you'll have to
Prohibit,
find
yeah.
a solution to that.
Yeah.
An agreement with another, you know, industrial
and
site.
then I started, I told them, we start 7 to 8 o'clock, and just please be on the side of the road, which is in an exit, where it's quite a bit wider.
Yep.
And when we arrive to the side, then you can pull in.
I would like
But-
to see, and I think it's doable, given what you've got there, I would like to see the gate locked to the property at night, so
Well,
the
that's-
trucks can't get in there.
No, they're not getting in there, they're parking here, waiting.
No,
They
but
can't do that either.
they pull in.
Oh, they pull in
They
at
don't
night?
stay on the road.
Oh,
They
all right.
Yeah,
pull in.
they do pull in.
Yeah.
So
They
I'd
pull
like,
in.
that's what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
They
that's-
pull in deeper.
Oh,
They
that's-
pull
that's
in.
not bad.
They
Yeah,
pull
they
in
pull
deeper.
into the size, yeah.
There's a place we approved on Sandy Road, was it 46?
Sand cut road.
Sand,
Second.
no, Sand is
Sandy Lane.
right behind the Rite Aid.
Oh, yeah, the
And
storage
they
facility.
have storage for equipment.
Yeah, they could park there.
And you could maybe rent a
Yeah,
spot
no, I
where
mean-
they could pull
Yeah,
in
so
there.
that's
we-
a
we-
solution.
Something
Run
like
idle all
that.
night
Yeah,
either
we in
there,
process,
though.
we in process right now
I don't
about
think
the
they're-
parking, because I know there's a problem. And when we have trucks, tractor trailers waiting for one of them to be unloaded, or we have 1 or 2 men direct traffic.
Yeah.
We thinking about safety.
Okay, but the issue, we're gonna address
And-
prohibiting the overnight
Right.
parking.
Yes.
Delivery.
Yeah, because I know what he's saying. I
If
mean,
you have locked gate access to the property, that would probably alleviate some of your
Always
issues.
the trucker communicate with me before, a day before.
Well, whether they do or not, but them showing up at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning and sleeping there all night with the truck running is not cool. And you're responsible as the property owner for that, is what we're trying to tell you.
Yeah, I understand. But now, we have in process to another property, which is we gonna move some of the material that we have there to the other property, and we gonna have more parking,
Space.
more space.
Yeah, no,
We're not
again,
gonna
just,
have any same issues we have right now.
we're in the
Yeah.
process of creating up in New Milford a facility, which is a tree farm essentially,
Yeah.
you know.
That's
and-
fine, but this is
Yeah,
the property.
Yeah,
that
so
we're-
we'll make more room
The
there,
other-
but
the other
we'll,
thing
we'll
that-
put it on the
The
site.
other thing that I've seen there too is that especially when a truck is pulling in and out at that time, and again, it is usually the same time, and then somebody else jumps out of the truck and starts directing traffic, and if one of them gets hit by EMS or something like that, while they're trying to amateur direct traffic in the middle of Elbow Hill Road, that's not cool either.
So far, we don't have any accidents, nothing happened.
Yeah, so far you don't have any
So far,
accidents. That's,
Because
that, that,
we see
It's
them.
interesting, I've never seen anything there. I mean,
Because
You have to be
drive
at a
up and
certain
down
time of
there all
day.
the
You have to be
time.
there
It's
at a
only,
certain time
it's
of
only
day.
At
some,
night, during the day.
yeah, sometimes only in the morning. It's not the whole day.
Yeah.
It's only like,
Unfortunately, that time of day is also school
bus.
traffic, rush hour traffic.
Maybe
It's
we
it's
So-
can
the
see
higher
plan.
end of
Yes, so why,
usage there, so.
We'll come up with a proposal to address those
please, yeah,
concerns.
to
All
Yeah,
these
address
points.
Because,
concerns.
you know what, they're real and
They are.
legitimate.
They're real and
I
they're all
mean,
safe.
all that steps we looking all the time. We
Yep.
got.
To me, it's
years
not the
there,
site,
We looking and we know we need to.
Yeah,
to me, it's not the site itself, it's the access. And-
Yeah.
Well, that too, but you have to consider your neighbor.
yeah.
And so
Exactly,
if you can,
100%.
you know, figure out how you can separate.
Okay.
yourself.
So Neil, why don't you read back to me what you think we want?
Okay, so I'm gonna work on issues of starting time conditions,
Yeah.
making sure that's clear. Parking.
Finishing.
And
Starting
finishing, yeah, well,
and
yeah,
finishing.
overnight use of the property, that's the next thing, prohibited. Signage that can address one of the neighbor's concerns. Parking areas, which, again, addresses everybody's concern.
Access to the property.
Yeah, and basically looking at, to define the, either some sort of fencing or markers that'll define the property line that the neighbor seems to be concerned about. Well, we can do that. We'll start there. I think if we address those issues,
Is there a way maybe to, and I don't know, to widen the entrance so that the trucks can get in easier as opposed to backing and twisting? I mean, because it takes 6 or 7 efforts for a truck to get into that site, and that's what's tying up the traffic at that time of day.
better driveway access.
I've seen the traffic when that's happening, backed up out on Federal Road.
Oh, yes, because we don't.
Yes.
have room,
That's,
yes.
yeah, but that's not okay.
Yeah,
At that time of day especially.
yeah.
Okay,
What can be done about the mud? Anything?
stone.
I think
Stone.
that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah,
Well-
well, by the way, it's always gonna be dirt in
Yes,
there,
but
and
if
it's
it's a-
gonna be
it's-
watering and rain, but we can reduce the mud.
Okay.
Set up a maintenance plan that's
Yeah.
gonna be swept every day, or twice a day. so-
That we can
Well,
do.
that and an established access way that's
Yeah,
with
full-
process or whatever needs
parking,
to be
putting
done.
gravel or something.
Gravel,
alleviate
yeah.
that.
Yes.
That we can do.
Yeah.
And then this plan shows the extent of your nursery stock, so this is what that we would agree, this is where your nursery stock's gonna be. Just wanna verify that's what you intend,
Yep.
okay?
And if this is a storage shed, is this used for anything?
This, you said
Oh.
the topography was too high
Yeah,
to do
and
it.
Oh,
we
goes
have
up.
like about, towards to the road, we have like about, let's say, 50 feet, 70 feet, and the high part,
Mhm.
maybe 100 feet, that is unusual, we don't
That's
don't use it, and we can do nothing. I did, I excavate a little bit, I excavate and then start.
And then you stopped?
Yeah,
And
you
then
can't,
stop.
it's sand and it's
Yes.
gonna
And
slide.
then he's right,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
What about
Okay.
planting so it doesn't erode?
I think it's stopped already.
Oh.
I don't think it's gonna,
Well, maybe we can stipulate if it begins again, you got to
We'll
stabilize
stabilize
the slope.
it. Okay, yeah, we can do that. But yeah, there's a big grade differential between his property and the neighboring property.
And understand, the function of zoning is not to prohibit what you can do with
Yeah.
your property, it's to regulate.
yes, I absolutely understand.
Well,
Yeah,
We're
we just
also here
want
to
to come
help.
up with a plan that works for you and for your neighbors.
And is safe.
I got it, okay.
Motion to continue the public hearing to September 11th, 2025.
Thank you, Matt. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Does that give them enough time?
Okay,
Second is.
It's the next
Oh,
regular meeting, yeah.
yeah, we're gonna continue the meeting so we can ask more. Well, they're gonna come back with a plan.
I understand.
And what was your
We can
question?
continue it again if they
Is that
need to
enough time
on
for
the
him?
11th. We can continue it again if they need to. Yeah.
All right.
Thank
all-
you.
All in favor of continuing?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Unanimous? Thank you. All right, so see you next time. Thank you.
Motion to waive the reading of the public hearing intro on application Z-2545 because you've read it once.
All right, do I have a second on not listening to me talk about that again, the script?
Second.
Thank you, Glenn. All in favor of me not reading the script again for the?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Just, can I have the folder for the? Yeah.
When's the next meeting? The 11th?
The 11th.
The 11th and 25th September.
Oh, there you go.
Is 25th Jewish holiday though?
Yeah, usually we try to, well, if necessary. So just, I'll just read the first part here. At this point in our agenda, we have a schedule of public hearing for the concerning application of Nalisha Mehta of Brahma Kumaris World, 8 Powderhorn Hill, Brookfield for the Town Square Media, 1 Manhattanville Road, Purchase, New York, application Z-25-45 for a special permit with design review application for change of use from a radio station to a meditation center. First, I'll have the members introduce themselves again.
Gwen Arment, member.
Kurt Timmerman, chairman,
Matt Grimes, secretary.
Greg Petroni, alternate.
and Greg Piccioni will be a voting member today. The application was formally received by the commission on August 14th, 2025. So the rules are the same. We waived the reading of the rules again. And we already read the public, the legal notice. And let's see if there's any, I don't think there's any.
Correspondence.
No correspondence. All right, so let's see. We're now ready to hear your application. If you state your name and your address for the record, please.
Nalisha Mehta, 8 Powderhorn Hill. So the meditation center, we've actually been operating in Brookfield since 2017. So we were previously located at 67 Federal Road, but it was a rental space, Suite 205 in Building A. And just because, activities are increasing, interest from the community, and Town Square Media had put their property on sale. It's currently the I-95 radio station, which, by the way, I grew up listening to. I actually went through the whole Brookfield school system, so I actually am from the class of '94. My family's been residents of Brookfield since 1980. And so it was just, when the property went on sale, it was an opportunity for us to purchase a property we'd been looking for a few years. And so we don't have any plans to make any structural changes to the building. We're buying it as is, and we're going to use it as is, meaning whatever the property, the exterior of the building will stay the same. Right now, we're in the process, so we plan on signing the contract at the end of September. So right now, Town Square Media is currently fixing the roof, the siding, they're painting. So if you go by, you'll see it.
Yeah, I see that.
And so that was part of the contract, that they would do those, those changes in terms of just the construction work. But otherwise, we don't have any plans to expand or do anything in the physical. It's as is how we're going to use the exterior of the building. And so it's just that when we came in 2017, we did register with the town. I don't know if you saw that in our application, as a nonprofit 501c3. And so it's just continuing the same activities. There's nothing changing. It's just literally changing physical, locations to where we were renting to now owning the property. And so it's just an opportunity for us to serve the community. All of our activities are offered free of service, so we don't charge for any of our activities. And so we're just really excited to be in that building and to be able to serve the community. I'm excited because this is where I grew up, and so I'm really happy that I get to give this back to Brookfield and to everyone in the community, but also to Connecticut and the neighboring New York border, because Brookfield is a really good location in terms of access from New York also.
Right.
And so I don't know if there's any other questions or anything you would like to know.
Yeah, for the viewing audience and for us, I read the application, but could you describe a few things that you actually do there?
Okay,
The
so
activities.
some of the activities. So we offer meditation classes. We offer them from anyone from the children to senior citizens, where we basically will advertise online, social media, saying we have these classes happening weekly, and so people can just register or come in. We plan to have, Federal Road is a really good location, so we expect there to be some, people driving by just might be interested in the activities. We offer workshops, anything around stress-free living, positive thinking. We also offer different events around different topics. It might be recently, because we're in between spaces right now. So the 8 Powderhorn Hill is actually our residence, because the 67 Federal Road, the lease ended at the end of June, because we already put in and had been accepted for the contract. So we're kind of right now in like a holding space. So that's why that's the address you received. But like, for example, recently we held an event at WestCon because we didn't have our space on, staying positive for busy families, how to stay positive for busy families. So it was like a family event. And we had children, we had families come to that event and really just have an opportunity to learn meditation together as a family, but also like to ask questions. How do we handle our busy lives? How do we handle so many responsibilities without feeling like the stress is coming into our family life? And so we've had events like that. Other activities we do is really just around teaching meditation, how to make meditation practical, how to, it's for people who are working. I work full-time, and so it's for people who are working. And how do I bring a positive attitude into my workplace? So we've had sessions on that. Do you have a question?
I do. We'll keep going.
Okay.
and I'll get to one.
Some other activities, so it's mostly meditation sessions, workshops, events that are around a certain maybe holiday. We do things around Thanksgiving, we do things around Christmas, then we also like honor Diwali, which is an Indian holiday. And so we really try to really serve the community in the way that is like of interest. So, and then we also do things on Zoom because not everyone can always come in person, so we also do workshops on Zoom weekly.
All right, thank you.
Yoga?
Not physical yoga, although we have had some yoga teachers who have come to us and they've used our space where they will bring, like what we'll do is we'll kind of do it together. Well, we'll teach them meditation and then they'll do some yoga and then we end it with meditation. So we've actually partnered with some meditation teachers and meditation like studios. It's been a few years. It was mostly like, I would say pre-COVID. But in terms of the physical movements, we have done some of that, and we're looking at sometimes partnering with some of the other organizations who could bring in, and we can kind of collaborate. We've done that before, and so it's very popular, and so we hope to do that as well. Yeah.
I had a question. So you said you're not going to change the physical footprint of the building, and I appreciate the description of all the activities you have there. Are you going to have adequate parking, though, for the kinds of activities you're going to be doing there?
We believe so. Given the space that's there, we do believe that we will have adequate parking. We are aware, we looked at we were given a whole outline of the map and the parking that's available. And so, we always encourage, carpooling, a lot of times people get dropped off and picked up, things like that. But we do expect to be able to, stick with the parking that's provided.
The reason I ask is it just seemed like there'd be more people at a meditation center than there would be in a radio station.
But they become.
They'd be the most peaceful drivers. You'll see.
They've begun the speed limit. This looks like it falls under the use table of 4.2A.7C, kind of like office, but they have 5,072 square feet of usable space because some is storage. And with that and the parking use in the table 6.2 under 7C, for every 300 square feet they need one spot, so they need 17, which is why I think it ended up at 7. That's why they have 17.
And how many ADA spots do they need?
Well, I don't know. That's part of the regs, but that's for that number probably one.
But that usage, those numbers would change.
No, this is for their use. This is for the use they're
The
proposing.
use they're proposing, that's what
That's what the
what's
parking
required.
schedule comes out as 17.
But that's, the one you're reading off is like
5,072
office
square feet.
space, you said, right?
Yeah, it's like professional.
Some that you're
space.
saying is like storage closets and stuff like that?
There was a storage area noted on the original site plan for just storage. So
Okay.
the remainder square footage of usable space for people inside is 5,072 square feet.
But
So-
this use sounds more like gathering.
I wouldn't say gathering because they do classes and they do different meditation things. So
Okay.
I looked through the use table, and it's not like an assembly hall, because there is no, because that's not the use they're coming for us. They're teaching some classes, like if it was a school or something, but it's not a school either. So when I looked at the closest use in the uses table, it came out as sort of professional, like medical office, but not medical, but professional. I mean, if I looked at the use table, that's the one that's closest to it.
Are you redesigning the inside at all?
So the inside right now has offices, and then it has like cubicles in the middle. And so, you know, I think the cubicles are probably going to get removed, just because I think it looks temporary. And we believe that they might remove it themselves, the owners, because they're moving to, I think they found property in Danbury, a smaller space is what I understood it to be. But like in terms of like, you know, we're going to do like cosmetic, you know, like change the carpeting, do some painting. And, you know, we might expand couple of the offices, because some of the offices are a bit small, that we can turn them into smaller classrooms so we can have simultaneous classes happening at the same time, because we will offer multiple languages. But in terms of, there's no major like renovations that we're anticipating at this time.
Is there
But-
currently adequate bathroom facilities for what you're gonna be doing?
So right now, they have two male, female bathrooms, and then they have an accessible bathroom. And so we do believe that should be enough, you know, but from what we see, but, you know, that's what we believe. It looks like it's enough.
What numbers are you talking at any one time?
You know, on average, one of our classes might have like 8 to 10 people. And then some of our gatherings, maybe 20, 25, maybe 30. It just depends on the event. But like in terms of our regular, like we're gonna hold classes daily. That, like our daily classes, you know what I mean, like the busiest times are probably like before work and after work. We might see 10, 15 people on those times, you know, and then some weekend activity. The quietest time will probably be during the daytime when people are at work. But there might be some people that will come in for like one-on-one classes and things like that. But we expect it to be like before work hours and evening times, probably where we'd have more activities.
Are you funded by headquarters? Are you?
So everything is funded through voluntary contributions.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So everything is, you know, we don't charge, but we of course say you're welcome to make a contribution, but we don't require it. And we've never, you know, I mean, it's the premise of the organization to never charge anyone to learn how to improve themselves. It's like we can't teach that. We can't charge for that. And so everything is through voluntary contributions. Yeah.
All right, any other questions? Just to go over the table. There's two I saw here under the use table. One was 2E, which was schools, public, private, preschools, and training schools. And that requires special permit. But the other one, which I thought was closer match under offices, 7C, and we split them into two. Professional and business offices greater than 5,000 square feet, which again requires a special permit. Both of them require a special permit, which is why they're in front of us. Interestingly, the parking doesn't split it up that finely. So
Okay. So it's the same as.
Kind of like a catch-all with the
yeah,
parking.
with that parking, it's like,
Yeah, I mean, that was my concern with 17 spots. If you're,
Yeah.
you know,
If you're gonna have.
that size of building, you're clearly capable, depending upon layout, of fitting more than, say, 30 in.
yeah.
Is there room for more parking?
Is there?
Yes, there is a.
There could be room, yeah, if we needed to. The way we're approaching it is we want to see how, like, we of course want to make sure we're following all rules and regulations, and we want to see what the level of activity will be this year. And if it seems that, you know, parking is a problem, then we will have to revisit that, but we just don't know. You know, we were really lucky at 67 Federal Road. I don't know if you're familiar with that space, but they had a lot of parking.
I think what Greg's concern is,
Yeah.
like, if we get too many people there, you don't want cars parked on the grass by Federal Road or anything.
Oh, no, we
Should
wouldn't,
be,
yeah.
and, you know, doing the events with children and stuff like that, also not being on, I mean, granted, that section of Federal Road is a lot quieter now than when
Right.
we were growing up. That's, you know, if you have family events with children,
Mm-hmm.
you know, not being on the side of the road is, you know, obviously a safety concern.
Absolutely, yeah, and we would make sure that we, you know, anyone that, you know, if we have any events, we usually have people guiding, and we are very clear about where they can and cannot park, and we would follow all the regulations. Like, we would definitely want to make sure that it's as safe as possible. And if we see that, you know, that the number of cars are beyond our space, then we would have to revisit that. But right now, we're looking at it as, we're just opening up again, you know, and it's, hopefully it's, it's an opportunity to increase interest, but we have to see what it'll look like this year since we've had a few months away from being in a space.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can later, the stipulation to assess parking every 6 months or something. So if it becomes,
Yeah,
yeah, they would have to come back in with a plan
I don't
to
know.
address it.
6 months, but, at some point.
Yeah, some periodic, yeah.
So,
Yeah, we'd be happy to do that, 6 months, or we might need a year. But yeah, we'd be happy to do that.
All right.
You
Is
have
there-
to plan for success.
Yes. You're right, but I also want,
Yeah,
you're
your
right.
old place used to be 750 square feet. So
Right.
it's a big jump up.
Yeah, so that's why we're like, let's see what it, we're hoping that you create the space and they will come. And we're hoping that the parking will be adequate, but yes, you're right, we have to plan for success, I appreciate that. We're just used to being in a 750 square feet space, and so this is like, we're so excited about being.
And on the safety front, piggybacking on that, not just parking, but also especially if you're taking the cubicles out and you're gonna have a big, you're gonna need egress for all of those people that are going to be assembled in case there's an emergency.
Yes.
We hope there's no emergency.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing we have to think of.
And then there, I would imagine having been able to put the cubicles in there for however many people, that there have been some consideration for that, but
Yeah.
at least, the numbers
Just to
would
get
have
there
to
to the
match.
radio station, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had, I think it was like 12 office spaces, plus the cubicles had at least for another dozen, like 12 people, I think it was, is what we were seeing.
And how many employees will you have?
In terms of the way it works is we'll have a few people that will be full-time, and then everyone else will be part-time. In terms of we anticipate between, I'd say probably 6 full-time, and then everyone else will be part-time because we're working. But we do have a few individuals who will be, kind of holding office hours there as full-time.
Okay.
So we call them volunteers, but you can call them, if you say employees, they're gonna expect us to pay them.
Well, we're kind of employees, we don't get paid.
Exactly.
Yeah, but about 6 people, but we do expect, during we actually start our activities starting at 5:30 in the morning. And so, if anybody wants to join us.
As long as you don't pack up your car with beeping.
No.
Is there any questions of, anybody else in the commission have questions, clarification? Is there any questions of clarification from the audience? Nope, would anybody like to speak in favor of the application? Sir, if you want to, you'd have to come up and, anybody who would like to speak in?
Don't have to, you can.
Yeah, you don't have to. Anybody who'd like to speak in opposition? No, all right. So, any more questions from the commission? No, I actually think it's pretty straightforward. I like the update,
I won't move to approve.
We gotta close the public
Yeah.
hearing first.
Have to
Yeah.
close the public hearing.
I'll move, we close the public hearing.
Thanks, Matt. Do I have a second?
Second.
Quint, thanks. Any discussion on closing the public hearing? No, all in favor?
Aye.
We'd like to go into deliberations. I like the use of the property,
I do too.
and,
I would like to see a report back maybe in a calendar year though to the P and Z too.
Yeah.
Just
You
to
put
make,
that in the
just,
stipulation.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Just because,
I
we
agree.
want this to thrive.
and if it does, then,
But if we
great.
don't have adequate parking, that would be.
Then we're,
concern.
there's
You may end up
another-
with a
another
partner.
headache for the board to, which we don't need.
Yeah, we don't want, someone to call Fran with a complaint.
Fran loves it when people
All right,
call.
well, Matt, you wanna make that, motion to approve with
I
that
thought Gwen
stipulation?
wanted to make it.
Oh, all right. You
I'm
wanna-
all for it. I move to approve Z-25-45,
1014 Federal.
1014 Federal Road for a meditation center. Application for change of use from radio station to meditation center. And that's it.
Oh, with a
Stipulation
stipulation.
to come
With
back
a
one calendar year.
stipulation, you want a calendar year or 6 months?
I think give me a year. Give me a year, see how they
Give
do.
you a year, yeah, to come back and see if we,
Report on the parking
yeah,
situation.
Yeah.
need to change that parking situation.
Absolutely.
We're not trying to be a stick, we want you to succeed.
Oh, no, absolutely, and
I'll second
safety has to be a concern, absolutely.
All right, I have a second. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. All right, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Go to it.
Thank you.
Just,
Can we take a little break, or can I just go to the bathroom?
why don't we take a, you want to take a 5-minute break?
Okay.
All right, who wants to make a motion to take a 5-minute recess?
Motion, take 5-minute recess.
Thank you, Greg. Who wants a
Second.
second? Thank you, Gwen. All in favor of 5-minute recess, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all right. So we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Ready? All right, let's reconvene the meeting at 8:07. Next order of business is 6A 46 Sandy Lane, Z-25-42. If you'd like to come up and see what you've brought this time.
I brought some documents. I did the drawing like you guys asked me to. If it's okay, I did blow it up to make it easier to draw. There are two documents here. I won't say too much because I haven't stated my name yet.
Thank you.
My name is April Heiser, representing Dad's Grill LLC, 34 Alpine Drive in Sandy Hook. We're coming back here today with an update to our plan for setup at 46 Sandy Lane. I've handed you two pictures, two drawings of, option 1 and option 2. The one that was on the top when I handed it to you should be option 1, which is a poor depiction of the food truck in front of the masonry building, parking to the left as you look at it, a barriered area in front of the food truck for people to stand, wait, possibly eat in the future. And then additional parking down in the commercial storage area, like down that little hill there. The generator, our generator, we would keep in the foundation of that masonry building that's there, and cage it in and leave it there so that we don't have to lug it every day. And that being down in that foundation would lessen the noise for the residents that's right there and anyone within 25 feet. So I had some issues with my printer, so I couldn't print out a bunch of copies. But 2 days ago, we were out to the property, and if I can approach that.
Sure.
There's just two pictures, recent. This one's blurry.
I thought it was my eyes.
But they've cleared the area to the left of the fence. It used to be overgrown with weeds. And since they've cleared it, it allows you to see how much space is really there, whether it's adequate room for the food truck and our towing vehicle or cars to park there. Now there is, on the clear picture that you have there is a patch of dirt where all the weeds were. I know that you would say if we want to park there, you want it to be, gravel or be able to withstand the weight of vehicles there. I don't want to do anything permanent initially, so that's why on this drawing number 1, I'll say, where the parking is to the left, I put basically like a barrel and caution tape barrier or some kind of barrier that you guys recommend just to keep people off that area. There is also I think it's a well on the property, a well or a sewer. I've put like a U-shaped box without one side around that area, if you can see it. Is it a well? Thank you.
To the right where,
That little U.
Yeah, it's like right here. I'm pointing to it.
okay.
And so we would put, whether it's a short picket fence or, 6 cones, we put something around it to keep people from getting too close and possibly having an accident. The way this option 1 is, of course it's not to scale. But if you look at this and then look at that blurry picture I gave you, you can kind of estimate where the food truck would extend from the fence. It's a 7-foot food truck, 7 foot wide. So, you know, gauge about 10 feet, let's say, from the fence is where people would order. And then just this roped off area to maybe one day have tables, but at least initially keep these people waiting for their food safe from cars parking, and let cars know where they can and can't park. In my mind, I would have a sign maybe on the bottom left corner of this barrier, U-shape, indicating, you know, parking for food truck, you know, to the left, or an additional parking and point to the right, or something like that. But it would be, we would have a lot of signage. If we look at the option number 2, that second one I handed you, the food truck would pull into that newly cleared space to the left of the fence, and then we would have a roped off area, probably 10 feet from the truck, which would cross, you know, would extend 6 feet into that fence that's there. Rope that area off for customers to wait, possibly sit in the future. But then people would park into the fence, like nose into the fence. You could easily put 3 cars there, maybe 4, but then still have the additional parking down the hill at the commercial storage. Other than that, the generator is in the same place. We would have the same barrier around the well. And in this case, the back of our food truck would have a sign that says, you know, parking, food truck parking, and pointing towards the fence, and say no parking in driveway. And just to avoid people blocking the resident's driveway. I think that's it in a nutshell. I'll gladly take your questions.
All right, for me, option 1, frankly, I like better, because the thing I don't like about option 2 is that fence, if someone hits the accelerator, so the brake, right into the food truck he goes.
Yeah.
Whereas on the other one, you run into the fence, you know, and the circulation of a car coming in and parking and then backing out so he can come straight out front-wise is better. Oh, who wasn't here last week?
Me.
You and Greg? So they, last meeting, they came here and they had cars pulling in straight from the road and then having them back out into the road. We did not like that. We wanted to see some separation. There's a regulation 25 feet from the property line to the first parking space. And we didn't like the circulation. We wanted safety. So you might, when you come out, we want you driving straight out.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
head out. And so we asked them to come back with a new plan that they reconfigures how the parking, because that's the most, 2 things. The parking, so people coming in and going out is safe. And the second thing is pedestrians getting their food are not in danger of a car running into them.
So you come in, you park here?
You would park here.
Oh, so you want the truck here?
The truck's going to be, to option number 1, the
You want
truck
the
is
truck
going to be
here.
right in front of that sign that says commercial outdoor storage, basically.
Yep.
So, and, does that hurt?
No.
I'm so sorry about that.
It doesn't. So the
And that fence line is around the existing pad, because the building was removed, correct? That's
Right. It's behind that privacy fence is a drop.
yes.
Right, and
Okay.
it's down there that we would have our generator. There's
Okay.
nothing else down
And
there.
that's 4-sided on that, or it's fully enclosed, that fence line for,
No, there's one side open. If you pull down into the commercial storage area, it's open. You
so the
see
back
like
end
this U shape.
aiming at the house is open?
No, there's,
The side end?
Right.
Okay, so the condo side.
Oh, sir, if you want to say your name and address
come
for
on
the
up.
record. Yeah, you can both.
I'm Ron Heiser, 30, what is it?
34 Alpine.
34 Alpine.
Yeah. So you were describing how the fence is, you know, we can see two sides of it, we can't see the back or the other.
Yeah, the fence actually runs on two sides of that foundation, and then the open end of that foundation is pointing toward the parking lot.
Toward
To the right.
To the right,
To
yeah.
the, and that drive goes
Additional parking lot?
toward the commercial storage property line
Right.
fence.
And that commercial storage is down low, so that road goes down.
Correct.
Right.
Across the slope.
So just for this pad, the understanding of this pad is at grade on the back side of that pad?
Or is there a hole?
Is there still?
No, it's down, it's probably down A.
The
10
entire,
feet.
the
Yeah.
entire area is, so it was, it had, that whatever structure
Used to be
had
a basement or something, a
basement, yeah.
walkout basement or something like that, yeah.
Okay. Okay, no, I'm just thinking if the idea of reducing the noise for the house that's back there.
Right.
Right.
If there wasn't a fence or something on that side.
Yeah, no, there's actually the foundation, and then there's another building that separates us and the residents back there.
I think it's all part of that foundation, but it has a roof over that portion
Yeah,
of
it's like
it.
an added garage or something, I don't know what it was.
Okay.
It was a cement block building.
Yeah,
Right.
kind
Yeah.
of 2 stories in the
I thought they
front.
knocked the whole thing down.
Yeah, well, they
No?
did, other than the foundation of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's still there.
Matt?
I've got, I mean, I appreciate them coming back with the two different options. But I listened to something, I think it was Tony that said last time, and I went over that way and I drove past it a couple of times, and I also did an activity that's got me with the same safety concern, whichever option it is. And the concern is that there's gonna be excitement that the food truck is there, and I'm not as concerned about where the food truck is or what they say parking. You say, put a sign there, but you know what, not everyone follows signs. And the concern that I have is that I think people are gonna be parked over at Bob's Discount Furniture, and they're gonna cross that road to go to the food truck. And I'm gonna tell, I went and did it myself, and
That's unsafe, you shouldn't do that.
I know it's not safe at all, but a car coming around from Federal Road or a car coming up the hill, that is a major safety concern to me, and I've got very big safety concerns with this site for that reason. And we can put up as many signs as we want, people aren't always necessarily going to follow them, especially on a busy day. And that, to me, I would hate to have somebody hit by a car on that road because we wanted to do a cool idea.
Wouldn't they park at Rite Aid?
You'd want them to. I would hope they would, but I'm saying just where they are, you're gonna have people park across the street and walk across to the food truck.
And
Still, they should be using.
You can put up
yeah,
signs
or
that say,
even
don't park
parking.
here.
I know,
and-
but we can't stop someone from, you know,
Walking
walking
across
across
the
Federal
street.
Road from Costco, wanting to go to
Yeah,
Rite Aid.
exactly.
I mean, they might be excited about the sale they're
There's
having.
nothing in Rite Aid now.
There will be.
Well, maybe they're going the other way. So,
I think if we offer plenty of parking at the site,
yeah,
I mean,
especially the
that-
signage about the additional parking.
we're a small
That's-
truck, so we can't accommodate 50 cars.
Yeah.
You know, and somebody's not gonna even pull in if it's that busy.
What do you serve?
Hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken strips, BLTs.
What made you think of this spot?
We had looked at it for a while. You know, a food truck owner's dream is to have a permanent spot and where people know where to find you. And this is we drove by it all the time. And it just, when that concrete building was there, it was like, hey, you know what? A food truck should be there. You know, there's like nothing else going on. Why not? And it just stuck with us. And now we're, you know, after a couple of years of sitting at a brewery for 10 hours and not selling anything or selling very little and not being able to, you know, pay the mortgage or something, you know, we need to do something else.
Just need something steady.
Yeah, something reliable. Like Matt mentioned last time that it was a very busy location, and that's what you look for as a food truck, a busy location where people are shopping and they can swing right in, get a burger, and be on their way.
I don't have a problem with option number one, because I think they address the on-site concerns. And as far as Matt's concerned, I think if you, you have to make that additional parking very clear that you do have it, so the, however many spots you have there, 4, that there's more, so they can come in, see, oh, those are full, I'll just drive down to the other parking right down there. So it's visible from the other driveway. This looks deep enough so you can have a car there without blocking the driveway. The only
Right.
time we're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be blocking is backing up to get to leave.
Right.
I like what you said, that you don't necessarily want anything permanent. But in my opinion, and maybe doing it through planters or something like that, but you need something substantial. It's not going to necessarily.
That's exactly what I thought, like some kind of planter with a big tree or something like that.
Something
We
that's
could
not
put
gonna move to.
Yeah,
a
something
Rose
to
of
wait.
Sharon or something, you know. that-
Block any sensitive areas, if you will.
Mhm.
And certainly, I mean, there's a fence. I don't recall the depth of that foundation, but the fence isn't gonna stop the car either, so.
Yeah.
I don't know if,
I think it's at
maybe-
least 6 feet past the fence, you know, the
The
foundation.
foundation?
The
Is
drop.
it- And the drop is, the
It's
foundation
probably
is,
6 to 8 feet, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe some wheel stops too.
Yeah, some parking stops or something. I mean,
Oh, like a curb?
Yeah, so, you know, you can buy those wheel stops and drive them into the ground.
thinking maybe a, you know,
Like the ones they have in parking lots.
natural guardrail or something like that, you know, whether it's a timber guardrail. or
Oh, you're
something like
talking
that.
about on the
So,
side there.
To,
Um,
well, to.
what
keep
was
people from
option
going
one?
through the fence.
Yeah, we're worried about.
Regardless
people-
of 1 or 2, to keep people from going through the fence.
Yeah, that stockade fence.
I don't know if that.
Yeah,
Why don't we
This is
propose
option
this
one,
and
yeah.
get them to come back?
couldn't you
But,
put the
like-
truck on the foundation?
No.
We don't want to infiltrate their commercial storage area, so they're kind enough to let us
Did they put the
overflow
fence
They
behind
parking.
did
it?
give us parking
this-
over there, so.
Right below that fence is a 8-foot drop.
Yeah.
I believe they also asked Bob's about using their parking lot, and they were not interested, correct?
Oh, we asked Bob's to set up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't want us to.
Yeah, they weren't interested at the time, so.
Yeah, maybe we can make a list and just to show it on the plan. Like for example, what are some of the, something to stop, like a small timber
Yeah,
guardrail.
guardrail
Something, a
type,
substantial guardrail to keep a car from going through the fence.
It'll also act to kind of be a visual reference as to where, you know, parking is or isn't.
Right, make it more obvious.
Could we just like put the concrete curbs, is that?
I mean, they'd certainly help. I mean,
They're not gonna
I know they're
stop
not
a
gonna
car.
stop my truck.
Well, yeah,
Not that I expect to drive through it, but,
Right.
but,
You could be so
Nobody
excited
does.
about your
But
hamburger.
nobody does.
such a
Nobody-
great.
It happens, like 2
Such
days
a
ago,
great
a
hit
car
burger.
went through a store in Newtown.
Well, that and, you know, the one in Southbury that routinely gets driven through.
yeah,
So, especially people sitting out, eating and stuff like that, just definitely want an area that's,
You're talking about something to the extent of the speed bump or something like,
No, now we're actually talking about something a little higher, you know, like a
like a Jersey barrier or something like that.
well, I was thinking
Like
more
a
of like
cement
timber,
pot,
timber
couple,
type,
use cement pots.
Yes,
guardrail
planter
With
pots.
planters
you know.
and,
what if they had like
Evergreens.
big, heavy
Right.
bollard pots,
rail,
you know,
rail, I
close
mean,
enough together?
Yeah, I mean, they can
oval
do,
pole?
Yeah.
I would think a substantial planters and
Yeah.
stuff like that
Yeah,
around like the
maybe
seating
one
area.
in front of
but
every
certainly
spot,
one
then
in
you know
front of-
exactly where to park.
Yeah.
Park here.
Um,
Don't hit it.
yeah, that won't, I think we can do something like that, yeah.
Yeah, the owners have been very cooperative.
Yeah.
That's very kind, yes.
That's,
Specifically
does
also-
everybody like option one better than option two?
With the parking layout, yeah, because they're not going back
how many
to-
parking spots can you
Do you
get?
want to continue or do you want to?
There's at least 4
Up on top.
on the left,
see it
and
going, I
then,
think.
I think so.
you know, I think they're happy if we take 5 spots out of the commercial storage area, you know, but I
They're not
don't
too
think they're
worried
gonna
about it.
yell at us
Yeah,
if
they're not
there's
too
8
worried
one
about it.
day, you know, if we're that busy. I hope we would be that.
Not that I like to delay this, but I would like to see two things to address it. One, to show on the drawing where you're gonna put those
Pots.
like heavy pots. And a sort of description, or if you can get a flyer or something of what those would be. That way, if you can get that data sheet flyer, so we can see how heavy they are, and, you know, sometimes they're actually sold for that purpose.
Right.
So we can see that, we can, you know, receive it as a exhibit,
Okay.
and then have it in the file. But I like option one. I think everybody else is in favor of option one as well, because it solves those issues. And with maybe idea of signage there. Now signage,
But if you put the truck there, somebody come in and smash that.
well, they would either drive in this driveway or drive that. They shouldn't be driving there, this grass.
Right, it's grass.
Yeah,
that's
this
where
is
you're
an
gonna have
established
people
drive,
sitting,
and this is an
Right.
established driveway.
And we would have that.
So they would drive here, or they would come and drive down
What
here.
is this?
That's a fence to protect the,
Where they're eating. or
for the
sitting
eating, yeah.
and waiting.
Yeah, and that can be, you know, more elongated.
Yeah.
So it goes across towards that well there.
Yeah, it's more visually, it's like, you know,
Yes.
there's people behind us, please don't drive there.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know some
That's a
places
problem we
use,
have
like,
in New
the-
York.
The livestock troughs for
Yeah.
making.
Oh,
Planters
and
and
sometimes people put the garbage cans that they're gonna have anyway, and
Yeah.
something between them.
But we can also put signs, you know, no parking, in case somebody, if there was room for somebody to kind of parallel
Yes.
park right off the
I
road.
think
Yeah.
signage is very important to where they're not
Yeah,
supposed to be
so
and
when
where
they,
they're
Right.
supposed to
when
be.
they come back, I wanna see the specifics on the signs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Motion to continue application Z-2542 to September 11th, 2025, for the purpose of getting clarification on the option one with signage as well as parking layout.
yes, and safety
Yep.
improvements.
Barriers.
All right,
Gotcha.
and do I have a second on that?
Second.
Thank you, great. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next two are both incomplete, so.
All right, and, yes, that's right. So the next one is 6B, 18 Junction Road. We still do not have all the documents, is that correct?
Correct.
So, because there's an incomplete application, we cannot set the public hearing. How many more days do we have left before we have to,
Dies a natural death.
yeah, or we deny it because it's not complete?
Hearing
We'll
set
let the
for
land use
September
figure that out.
25th. What, are you talking about 18?
They don't have a complete application,
Yeah, so we can't set the
public
public
hearing.
Can't even set it.
No. 6C, 14 Sunset Hill Road.
They're not here.
Again, they're not here, and we don't have the additional information. For the same reason, we cannot accept the application because it's incomplete. All right,
Make a motion that the board, to recommend to the Board of Selectmen a first release of bond with respect to 731 Federal Road.
all right, do I have a second on the release of the bond?
Recommendation to
A
release.
recommendation to release?
Where's that?
This is, bond release, that's, where is that? Oh,
Where's-
this one, 7A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that hasn't been released?
The first part,
First part,
do I have a
Second.
second?
Second.
Thank you, Gwen. So this is the food emporium. So this is, they have their apartments done, people are living there.
Looks like
and
there's been a lot of activity down
Yeah.
in this, down in the food
And so they're
emporium.
getting close, real close. Every day they push it out a little more.
Big colorful signs in the window.
What is this a release for?
Landscaping.
Yep.
Okay.
And they've done a nice job with that.
Yeah,
They really
I'm
have.
still retaining, I think it's $7,000.
All right, yes, this is a release for $17,243.45. So all in favor?
17,000 what?
$17,243.45.
Right down to the penny.
Yep. They want to make the next one nice and even.
All right.
Do I have a?
You did.
a vote?
When seconded it?
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. What was the commission meeting date? Gwen, may I borrow your pen? Thank you. I lost mine somewhere in this building. Okay, it's the 28th. And we also decided same date. Thank you. All right, I'll do more with that. 8A, proposed changes on short-term rental and accessory apartments. I had asked last time for everybody to read it, but you guys weren't here. Did you guys have the document?
I do.
All right, so I'd like to have more of a commission here because
Right
there's,
here.
yeah. So we're going to postpone that.
Oh, we'll continue.
Postpone that to next time. 9, commissioner comments and formal discussion?
I have something.
Oh, sure.
I was looking at this, on sidewalks.
Yes.
Has anybody, have we discussed that at all?
No, the discussion was, should we make a subcommittee and maybe we'll, to
An
start
ordinance
discussing.
or regulation or something?
Yeah, so I think we have to have a subcommittee start talking and invite Greg Dembowski, and he knows a lot about this. And planning too, because it's all part of it, to understand what do we want as far as a sidewalk plan? What is it gonna be?
And what can we do?
What can we do? You know, do
Exactly.
we want a zoning regs, do we want ordinances, do we want a sidewalk fund? Those are funds.
Yes.
That help, landowners, you know, and we can get money
I
for
think it was
it
you
too.
that said, or maybe it was Tony, like you have the sidewalk, then you have a bald spot with no sidewalk.
Yeah, and so we want them all connected, yeah. Because, you know, if I was a landowner, I'd be reluctant to put a sidewalk in because how much does it cost, Fran, per lineal feet?
Basically, $7 a square foot.
And the other,
Okay,
the
so
other thing,
$35 a lineal, how wide
That's
are they?
cheap in New York,
Yeah,
it's
so
awful.
$35 a lineal feet. This is like 5 feet
then
wide.
the other thing
It
we
cost
talked
us
about.
$8,000 for,
Well, you have to do super wide, right?
The other thing we talk about too is like up and down Federal Road especially, you've got some of the bus stops that are just on the grass and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
not, there's no
So,
place
I
for
mean,
people
there's
to
two,
wait for the
there's
bus.
all those
Yeah.
aspects, we have to come up with a plan for what do we wanna do about sidewalks, if anything. But it is in our POCD to provide it for safety and everything else. And so we have to have some sort of subcommittee to create goals and visions and a master plan and what it all involves. And get some expertise in there. I know Greg Dembowski, he's got some expertise in doing this streetscape. He knows all about what to do when it's on state property, what you can do on private property. So that's what that was about.
Yeah.
We hadn't really discussed beyond that.
well, I would like to.
Yeah,
I mean, do something.
yes.
I think, yeah, I think we put that on in the future too, and that's also another one, full commission discussion, I guess,
Yeah.
when we have the full complement.
And when it's in the POCD, then the state looks at us and say, oh, you are serious about that, well, you can get help. We'll look on you favorably to get money for it.
Uh-huh. That's good, because I think they're necessary.
And as much as we like the POCD though, we don't always do everything that we say we're gonna do with the POCD.
No, well, you know, there's constrictions on money and.
No.
Things like that.
Powerball's almost up to 1 billion.
Oh, that would help. If someone was officially, play it.
Move to adjourn.
All right, thank you, Matt. Do I have a second for adjournment?
Second.
Thank you, Gwen. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, adjourning at 8:35.